Hey everybody out there, this is Seto, and today for you guys, I'm going to talk about link summoning again. And I haven't really talked about link summoning except when I'm doing deck profiles on the channel, talking about, oh, this is how link summoning affects this deck, or vice versa. And like whenever there's a new mechanic that comes out in the game of Yu-Gi-Oh! And a player that's been around for many moons, I guess you could say, people complain about synchros, people complaining about exceeds, people complaining about pendulums, people are complaining already about links. They hurt the game, they're not good for the game, they restrict the game, etc, etc, etc. They make this deck dead. No other mechanic did that, etc, etc, etc. Okay, I get that. I understand all this. I understand that you may be watching this video and me saying, link summonings are not that bad. No, that's wrong. They're bad. They're horrible. Listen to me before you write down. I understand that your deck may be dead temporarily, but if Konami's been shown to do anything, if it's a legacy deck, you're gonna get support eventually. And most likely, decks like Synchrons, decks that have been really hurt by links, I would assume Konami, that's an open opportunity for Konami to make some legacy support to make that deck more relevant, playable. Pretty much I'm saying. It's not going to be tier 1, but playable is the word here. And for me, playing a lot of decks recently, and a guy that loves deck building and tinkering around with decks and seeing what decks work in link format and vice versa, I can tell from playing that the thing that links restricts is the on the field, I guess you could say is the weird word. Like the just throwing up of these unbreakable boards. It restricts that to some degree. What I mean by that is going like exceed, like Dagusto Emerald, Trident, and something else, Venom Dragon, I don't know, whatever the case may be here. Quasar, who knows, all those crazy Quasar combos, but stuff like that. And then a back row, like a Sob Strike, things like that are going to be a lot harder to make in the early part of link summoning. Now, maybe as link summoning evolves, that may change, but we don't know yet. So, what I'm trying to say is link summoning will slow down the game somewhat. By the time link summoning comes out, we're probably only going to have to worry about true Dracos and things of that nature. Zodiacs, I would highly assume, will get hit by the time link summoning comes out. But, back on topic here. It doesn't kill all decks. It makes the game a little bit slower. So here's some good examples here. A lot of rank 4 toolbox decks will still be decent. Will still be good, I would say. You just can't go blah on the field, pretty much. And when I mean blah, I'm saying like throw up 3 exceed monsters, combo, what's this, back with node in, substitute combo. You can't do that in link format, in the early part of link formats. There will be combos to get your links up, and yes, you have to invest a little bit more to do so to set up your board. And yes, I know it sucks that you have to go to the link summoning mechanic to get to, you have to go to A to get to B. You have to go, to get 2, you have to go 1 + 1 = 2. You have to do this to do that. I got it. But there's a different way of thinking, which I've been testing out just to see how it works really in casual, fun play with your buddies at locals, taking said deck, adapting it to link format. And that's the fact that your deck will still function and you just do what the deck does. Most decks, or most rank 4 decks, synchro decks are a little bit harder, but they usually, most synchro decks I've always played with, if they're not trying to go for Quasar or, like super quantals, whatever the thing is, where they go, they go into one synchro, then they need another synchro to go into this bigger synchro. So stacking like that, where they need 2 extra deck monsters to go into something. Besides those decks, which I know are beloved by many people, most synchro and exceed decks and fusion decks, they usually go for 1 exceed monster per turn. So it kind of goes back what I call the art of plussing. You could go 2 ways with this. You make a link monster, opening up 2 link zones so you can do different plays and invest in the link monster. But if the link monster gets stopped, then you're kind of up the creek out the paddle. And most link monsters I've seen, they can be compulsed, torrential, solemn strike if that's still around, warning. The list goes on and on with how link monsters can be dealt with. They're more synchro oriented right now until there's like one that can't be targeted or can't be hurt. investing in link monsters is kind of a glass cannon to some degree. I'm not saying link monsters are bad, it's the early part of the link era, but I'm just saying a compulse can stop a link monster. Or you can stop the crucial play that you know that deck is tendency towards to go into the said link monster. You can stop it through different means altogether. So cards like Compulse, Torrential, Strike, Warning, and a half a dozen other things will be definitely viable come link format if people decide to go that route of just putting links in everything because their deck needs it. Instead of going down that road, like I said, focused on what your deck does good. If it's good at making Exceeds monsters, make rank 4 Exceeds monsters. Build the deck in such a way that you can outgrind your opponent in a longer game, most likely. So what I'm trying to say by that is, pretty much what you do is, say I'm playing Heraldic Beast, a rank 4 toolbox deck, or Gadgets for that matter. Yes, it's optimal to go Geargiant Gano X, with Stellar Knight's a perfect example, going, Trevier, Trap Tricks Rafflesia, first turn, break my board, go. Yeah, that's nice. But instead of going that, maybe you outgrind your opponent by just going for the Trap Tricks Rafflesia with some back row. And if a Kaiju happens, oh, they Kaiju'd it, cool. Now I can go into another rank 4 Exceed. Oh, they got over that, I go for another rank 4. Or Synchros, I go for one Synchro, every other turn. And maybe once I've established a board, and this is the way I'm trying to think of the mindset to get to this. You establish your board, then you go into your link monsters. Sounds a little bit weird, doesn't it? What I mean by that is you're grinding your opponent out of resources. So I establish a board by making a monster presence, okay? First turn, I make my monster, all right? I don't go for a link monster. And as the turns progress on, you go for your link monster to now overcommit and extend your resources to eventually win. Instead of just going blah on the field right away, it's a different mindset. And I'm not saying it's the correct mindset or the wrong mindset, but it's something I've been trying out. And it's been working. It's been working perfectly fine when I'm playing in like hypothetical link formats on paper and in real life when I'm testing with friends with decks and with proxies of link monsters. It's working out pretty well. Instead of just going for the link monster because it's very easily outed. And yet, unless your deck is super able to adapt to link format and extend with the resources that it is given, like Gofu and things of that nature, then yeah, go for that link monster. But I'm letting you know, if that link monster goes bye-bye and you didn't use both the link zones, it's kind of like that. You make that face. And Kaijus most likely will be around. So Kaijus can out those boards, those link monsters too. So what I'm trying to say is there's different ways to approach link monsters. Just thinking that link monsters kill every deck is not the correct line of thought. Yes, some decks will not be relevant. Okay? They won't be playable even. But most likely Konami will give out legacy support to said decks. I believe fully that they'll give out synchro support for Synchrons. They've been doing it for forever, from the manga or whatever means is possible. They will do it. They will not let Yusei Fudo's deck die. They won't let Ghost. I bet you probably sometime within the next year or so we may even get Ghost Trick support that works with the fact that link monsters can't be put face down. I would bet money on that, maybe even. So things of that nature is what I'm saying is just be patient and wait. Yes, it sucks right now, but patience will win. Being patient is a virtue and will help you out in the long run, be less stressful. But that's what I'm trying to say, guys, is there's different ways you can approach link format. You can approach it by just trying to make a powerful board like we're doing now, where this mindset has always been for the last year and a half, 2 years. Make a powerful board, you got the out, good. The problem is link monsters are your Achilles heel. You can easily out a link monster right now. For now, that is. Firewall Dragon is very good, but what I'm trying to say right now, what I've been seeing for the first 2 sets, I think they can be outed pretty well. Through Kaijus, through different means, they will easily be outed. They're not busted. And yes, you have to run them in certain decks, but it may be best to approach those decks with not the mindset of running link monsters right now, but running the way the deck runs. Like, if your deck is Exceed based, remember the fact that if Exceed monsters are in the grave, if they're reborn, they go to your main monster zone. Run Exceed Reborn. That means you get 2 Exceed monsters back, and you get a material for your Exceed monster. Pendulums. Oh, well, I can run my Pendulum Reborn, so I can revive them from the extra deck it was, with the graveyard. Like Dynamist have adapted because they can just shuffle their things back from their extra deck into their hands, so they can keep going. Okay, blah. Okay, you got over my Pendulum summons. Okay, they went to the extra deck. Now I'm going to recycle. Blah. Again, they can rinse, wash, and repeat. And Magicians, I think, would be a decent deck, but like Ignites and things like that, we don't know what Konami's going to do. They may give out future support to help the deck be functionable, but only time shall tell. But that's what I'm trying to say, guys, is don't hate Link Summoning just because it's Link Summoning and it hurts a lot of decks and it's different. People have been saying this throughout the course of Yu-Gi-Oh's history. I've heard it time and time again. So try to adapt. Think of different ways. That's the thing I'm trying to do right now, is think of ways I can adapt all my decks I have in real life. How can this deck work? How can that deck work? How can I use this differently? What different tech cards can I try out? Stop thinking about, worrying about, and getting mad at the fact that Link Summoning's out. Figure out how you're going to get around it and work with it, because it's going to happen. So you either have to A, quit the game, or B, adapt and change and find different ways. I hate to be harsh, but that's kind of true. Adapt and think of different ways. Don't just get mad at the problem. Figure out how to solve the problem. It's like a math problem. Oh, I can't figure it out. I'm going to get mad. No, you got to finish the test, right? You need to finish this test to pass your class, right? Well, then figure out a problem. Figure out a solution. That's the way I'm looking at it. So until next time, take care. Have fun dueling. Good luck dueling. Sorry this turned into kind of a rant, but what I'm trying to show you guys here is there's different ways that you can evolve with Link monsters coming out soon. So until next time, take care. Have fun dueling. Good luck dueling. And I'll see you guys next time. Take care, everybody.